Hello, it's Lance, and here's the latest in Beatles news. The Abbey Road box set. The media, including large publications and more boutique outlets, got to hear a preview of the remixed Abbey Road album this week. I spoke with Mitch Axelrod of the Fab4 Free-for-All podcast, one of my favorite Beatles podcasts, and I asked Mitch about his first impressions. We discussed the outtakes and the companion book in the box set, but what I really wanted to share here were his thoughts about the new mix.
And we all agreed that it was really a great listening experience. What we heard were instruments that we never knew were in the mix. Bongos, the tambourine, the harmonies punch you in the face. When we heard Here Comes the Sun, the first harmonies that came in, it was like someone punched you in the chest and ripped out your heart. It was just unbelievable, the harmonies. I think all throughout the remix, we did hear Because after that, and the harmonies are just amazing on everything. Yes, you do get the bumped up rhythm section of drums and bass, but you get a lot of panning on stuff, which is really good. Like the Come Together drums are panned all the time. You think you've been listening to it through a closed window, and then finally someone opens up the window and it sounds fresh. There's a lot of instrumentation I haven't heard before, a lot of little pieces that in there that you haven't heard, a lot of little chatter. At the end of Come Together, there's, while they're doing the fade out, there's a ton of stuff on there that I've never heard. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Mitch and his co-host Rob Leonard and Tony Triguardo just released an episode that goes into much more detail about all of this. Check it out wherever you listen to podcasts or fab4freeforall.com. By the way, folks at Apple or Universal, if you'd like a Beatles YouTuber to check out the Let It Be releases next year, you know where to find me. A quick price check on the Abbey Road box set that includes this new remix. It's about $90 on the US Amazon store, down from a high of $110. Links are down in the description if you want to learn more. Amazon's easy, but just a reminder, if you can, support your local record shop. The set will be released on September 27th. A new Ringo interview. Ringo Starr was interviewed by Peter Splendorio in a piece published by the New York Daily News, and he mentioned his favorite parts of Abbey Road. The other thing I'm really always proud of is there was a bit of tension. Not all the time, not as much as people like to think, but if you counted it in, everybody gave their all. Nobody said, "Oh, well, not my song." Nobody held back. You did your best every take. In the article, Ringo also mentioned his upcoming book and a new album. Check out the show notes in the description for more. Flaming Pie reissue. Among the other news recently, this little tidbit got buried. Flaming Pie, Paul's '97 album, and a masterpiece in my opinion, is apparently receiving special attention for a release due later this year. The Facebook page for McCartney Legacy, the upcoming book on Paul, mentioned the news on August 7th. McCartney's archive collection has been releasing albums regularly over the last few years, so this isn't a huge surprise really, but no details have been officially discussed. This is probably due to lots of Beatles-related products lately. The impending Abbey Road, of course, but also Paul's new book, Linda's Wild Prairie re-release, and so on. Happy International Beatle Week! It's being celebrated in a big way in Liverpool this weekend, with tribute bands, talks, films, and even a showing of the recently found Top of the Pops paperback writer clip. If you're attending or you have before, let the rest of us know what it's like down in the comments. Peter Fonda's death. Peter Fonda passed away on August 16th. When I hear his name, I instantly link him to Easy Rider and think about Born to Be Wild. But for many Beatles fans, the song that comes to mind is the Beatles' She Said, She Said. As the story goes, Fonda was present at a drug-fueled party with the Beatles in '65, and while speaking with the band, he brought up a childhood accident with a gun where he almost died. Much of the story within She Said, including lines like, "I know what it's like to be dead," and "Who put all those things in your head," were directly related to this meeting. Last week in the comments, it was the baby boomers asking who Drake was. Now I'm sure it'll be the Gen Z kids asking about Peter Fonda. All right, that's it for this one. By the time the next news episode releases, I might have another big video out. So tap the number 4 and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already.